Do you love our podcast? Do you often find yourself wondering how you can help make it better? Head on over to patreon.com/newampnetwork and check out all the great stuff you can get for supporting what we do. This isn't the only way to help. Review us on iTunes and tell your friends about our great content. On this episode of Best Podcast NA.
Dat CLG TSM game, though.
Scarra retires.
Live All-Star pick.
Team Builder needs work.
SKT Telecom Z-Skin.
Challenger Galio is forever alone.
Summoner tips and more on this episode of Best Podcast NA.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Welcome back to Best Podcast NA for Monday, March 31st, 2014, the only League of Legends podcast on the New Amp Podcasting Network. I am Brian Haig, aka Wintermall.
And I am Julian Gould, a.k.a. Jokusis.
Every week, we bring you the newest tips, strategies, opinion, and news about League of Legends, the LCS, and more. How have you been this week, Julian?
I've been good, actually. I just got back to school after a long 2-week break. So, easing back into that, waking up at, 8 instead of 11s.
Yeah.
So, that feels pretty good.
Today was a really rough morning for me. I had my alarm set for 7:30 in the morning because I wanted to get up and go to the bank, deposit my paycheck, and clean up all the crap that was left in my kitchen from all the shenanigans this weekend. But that turned into me waking up at 9:30 and having to get all my stuff together to leave at 10. So it was a rough morning, and I don't think I actually woke up until about 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Man, those days are the worst, where the whole morning is just you being super tired, and nothing really can wake you up until 5 o'clock at night when you're finally wide awake.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't help that it's Monday, too, so it was just the worst of the worst.
Mondays are the worst, man.
But we're not here to talk about our weekend shenanigans. We're here to talk about League of Legends, and starting us off is our talk about the LCS. So I think the biggest news in the LCS scene this week was Scarra retiring from mid laner of Team Dignitas.
Yeah, being taken by, I think he's a college student right now, Golden Glue. I guess Scarra now, he's had his fair share of pro scene. He's been playing...
He's been around since the beginning, hasn't he?
Season 1, yeah. He's been around for a long time. He's been with Dignitas for a long time as well. And I think now he's just going to take a step back and do a lot of coaching. He's definitely...
I wonder if his coaching is going to be like St. Fish's coaching, where he's going to come back halfway through the next season and end up doing mid lane for Dignitas again.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, I don't think that's the last of him for sure. But Scarra, he'll be back. Honestly, that's my prediction. Maybe midway through next season, can't resist. There's going to be a new mid lane meta or new mid lane champion he just loves so much, and he'll get really good, and he'll want to play pro again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the new mid laner, the Golden Glue, he came in on his first game, and it seems to be a continuing pattern with all these new players they bring in, with a new player will always win their first game. So we had Golden Glue winning his first game, his debut in the LCS against EG, and he continued to lose his second game against Cloud9, but that was also a very close game in itself.
I mean, it wasn't super close, but he didn't play bad. I saw lots of good bindings and lots of good ults. He kind of lost lane early. But otherwise,
well, Cloud9's going to focus a new player for sure, because they want to put him behind, because they're going to be vicious and go for the win no matter what. They're not going to be, okay, he's new, let's go easy on him. No, this is a competitive scene. We're going to make sure we go all in. That's our best strategy of attack here, so let's execute it.
Well, especially such a tight competition with TSM,
mm-hmm.
And so close to the end of the season, and also with the All-Stars around the corner, they want to look the best, so more people from the same team can end up going to. Or how is All-Stars working? Is it individual players again like last year?
I believe so. It's an individual player for each role from each. Oh, what is it? It's not realm.
Region.
Region, that's it. Wow, liking it there.
Realms.
Yes, each realm. North Americano. Oh, I don't know why we would be Spanish, but our realm picks.
Yeah,
But picks and bans, speaking of picks, what kind of cool picks and bans do we see this week in the LCS?
Well, we saw a couple new support picks coming in. Well, not so much new, but unusual support picks. Alistar coming in by someone that's not Crepo. We saw it was Aframu from CLG pick it. He played really well, and he got some pretty sweet kills. He got one pretty sweet kill on on the AD carry of the opposite team. Also, we saw Karma pick, which is more popular in the Korean scene right now. Also, a little bit in the EU scene at one point, and we haven't seen it much in the NA scene. But now to this weekend, we saw a couple games with Karma, and they both played pretty well.
One of the notable things I saw with the NA Karma pick was that they paired it with a Sivir. They could pop Sivir's ult and then Karma's, whatever her speed increase ability is, and just have a super stampede going on.
Yeah, they called it the Stampede comp, so they could just run at people, pick people off, you know. So, I mean, pair that with the medallion. Whew,
Everyone's zooming around the map. Get a Rammus
team's
in there.
ripping. It's a bit of Mario Kart. Another kind of unusual pick we saw is we saw Cloud9 bring out Soraka mid, and that worked out really well for them. It kept them push, huge heals, was doing decent damage, especially there was a level 1 fight and the Soraka was just sitting in the middle, star calling.
It's almost like a reverse Karthus, where instead of damaging every lane, he just calls out a heal in every lane.
Yeah, I mean, not as much damage as Karthus will bring, but will bring a lot of utility late game. Kind of like the Lulu mids. Very similar kind of, I mean, not like damage-wise, but very similar team composition play style. Like, the team kind of revolves around this mid buffing up the other carries.
We're getting, I feel like, more towards a support mid-meta. Even Ziggs has a lot of CC and control. Now we're moving into like Soraka, who is a true support being played mid. We have Lulu, who is also a support playing mid for all of her utility. So we might see more and more kind of support picks coming in mid, maybe a Morgana in the next week or so, I'm going to predict.
Maybe. I don't think so. I think those are just two special picks for specific comps, because we still see lots of Zed picks, and I mean before Gragas picks and all those really heavy damage dealing champions. So I think those two champions, yes, they bring a lot of utility, but they're for specific team comps.
Very true, very true. And now Varus was picked by Coast in a game, and I know
Twice, actually.
Oh, twice, actually. Okay.
Yeah. So they saw a lot. They picked Varus. They won. And then, I mean, I guess they saw the results, so they picked Coast. They didn't pick Coast. They picked Varus again, and they won again. So, I mean, they played well. Varus is not one of the more popular AD carries, but he's still strong, so that was fun to see.
Do you know why they picked him? Was there any specific reason, or was it like a counter?
No, I don't actually know why they picked him, but, I mean, if I was going by my biased opinion, I would just say because Varus is good. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, I've always thought Varus is really strong.
I'm actually going to look up the games here and see who Varus has played against, but continue on.
Okay, speaking of AD carries, Twitch is now, this weekend, randomly becoming a contested AD carry. It was banned out a couple times, played a couple times. They've stated that Twitch is a bully lane. I mean, I can see it because level 2, he comes out of stealth, he gets that attack speed steroid, and he can expunge and just do a lot of burst damage before the other AD carry can even respond to the amount of damage Twitch can put out really early. So he's got that kind of bully.
He works into the current bot lane meta pretty well.
Yeah, I agree. Also with spray and pray, he can hit the back line, even though there's a bunch of bruisers out in the front. He can still kind of
especially if they get a good fight in a corridor in the jungle, and Twitch can spray and pray across everyone.
Oh yeah, and that happened this weekend. I don't want to get too much into it because it kind of segues in some of my plays, but we'll talk about that.
But I looked it up, and Varus was played against a Twitch and a Lucian, both times picked by Coast.
I mean, what did their team comps look like? Did their team comps lack CC?
Let me take a look.
Team comp.
Coast, they had Leona in the bot lane along with Varus, which is a very good lockup combination. They had Evelyn's ulti and a Renekton stun, and I guess a LeBlanc stun too. So they had a fair amount, but the Varus did add an extra bit of CC into there.
So it might be that they didn't see enough kind of AoE lockdown or something. I'm not sure. Maybe it was just that they like Varus and they play well Varus, or that Varus Leona pick is strong. It can cause lots of problems level 3 and level 6, because that's where he's going to get his big power spikes.
And that's what they did. They ran Varus and Leona both games, so they had a consecutive bot lane going on.
So maybe that's something that they've been practicing, and they thought, I mean, they brought it in and they won, so maybe we'll see it come out with other
if you can line it up, that's almost an entire team lockdown right there.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's got a lot of utility.
Let's see. Any other kind of cool notable picks this week?
Yeah, we got one pick from EG. It was not so.
And we haven't seen that since St. Vicious played it last season.
Yeah, so it's been a while. I mean, they didn't win, but I still stand by my opinion that Nod is not a bad champion. Maybe he's not current in the best spot in this current meta, also with the current jungle and jungle items, but he's still a good. He brings so much utility to a team fight if you can just get him out of that kind of early phase. Unfortunately, EG couldn't. He got counter jungled and just kind of outplayed a bit.
Yeah, like I've said in the past, there's the 3 AP CC junglers, they're tanks, that are going to go in between being OP and not. And those 3 are Nautilus, Amumu, and Sejuani. And throughout a season, you'll see one of them be the most efficient, one of them be the least efficient. Currently, I think Amumu is probably the strongest there, followed up by Nautilus, and then Sejuani last. Whereas last season, probably you had Nautilus there initially, and then he kind of fell out of flavor to Sejuani, and Amumu was kind of sitting there in the back because he suffered a lot of nerfs. With the jungle changes, Amumu has really shined a bit, and we've seen him picked, I think, 2 or 3 times in LCS. I know he was for sure played support once by, I think it was Dignitas. We talked about it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. So it didn't work out for them though.
Yeah, well, they tried to get Amumu out of lane phase by just rushing towers down, and it worked okay, but Amumu couldn't bring enough because he was too squishy. Like, he wasn't the tank initiator they needed him to be.
Yeah, no. So, you know, talking about people losing and winning, just like always. Current standings, we are in a really tight first place war against TSMC9, both sitting at 20-4. It's intense. Like I'm waiting for next week because I know that TSM and Cloud9 on Saturday, last game. It's Super Week next weekend, so stay tuned. TSM is facing off against Cloud9 in a head-to-head Cloud9 in a head-to-head battle that will pretty much depict, you know, who comes first. So that's the match to see, and I'm gonna suspect or predict 300K plus viewers on that game alone.
So does this mean we've locked in our top 3 for NA?
Yes. It's either going to... Well, actually, CLG does have a chance to come second. That's if C9 or TSM bomb most of their games.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to be pretty hard to have happen.
No, I doubt that will happen. So it's either going to be TSM or C9 first, TSM or C9 second, and CLG will be for third. Dig and Curse, though, are still battling out for that 4th place. Dig actually pulled ahead of Curse this week with 10-14. And Curse, I think, now is 9-15. So
that's a pretty close. Cause it's is it the top 4 that go on to whatever tournament it is?
Yes, top 4.
Top 4. All right. So yeah, I do still think that the lower portion of the tournament is a lot more interesting to watch than the TSM Cloud9 games. I know we touched on this last week, but CLG is actually making for some really interesting games because theirs can go either way.
Yeah, CLG is at this kind of midway point where they can compete against TSM and C9 now, but they also aren't they're not such a methodical team and well-rounded out team where they can't lose to some of the bottom teams. They still have to work hard. So you're seeing some really interesting games and some different risky plays by CLG. We actually saw CLG win against TSM this weekend, which was crazy.
This was such a great game. It was amazing to watch.
Do you want to go first? I have a lot to say, but after you.
Oh man, well, let's start off with kind of the picks and bans of this game. CLG banned out Dignitas's Zed, or not Dignitas. CLG banned out TSM Zed because they didn't want Bjergsen on Zed. CLG also banned out Sivir from TSM and Renekton from TSM, whereas TSM banned out Lulu, Ryze, and Kha'Zix from CLG. So CLG had Thresh Lucian bottom lane, so that was double lift, and who's double lift support? Is that
That's Aphromoo.
Aphromoo, yes. A Trundle picked top, which was the first time we've seen Trundle in, I think, a week or 2 here. Lee Sin jungle.
Nien's been playing Trundle a lot, so.
And then Ziggs mid, which isn't too much of a surprise. TSM was running Shyvana top on Dyrus, LeBlanc on Bjergsen, Evelyn on... Man, why am I blanking on names here? I really gotta have them in front of me. Odd one on Evelyn, Twitch on Wild Turtle, and X Special was playing Leona. So this was the first Twitch pick we saw this week, and it was played pretty well, but Double Lift just showed, on Lucian, just his strength and mechanics. And this was, I think, one of his first
It
times
was,
on
it was
Lucian.
his first game on Lucian.
So, and he did very well, got really fed, and just kind of showed TSM what's up. And by the end of the game, was calling them free SM, which was kind of a little short blurb there.
But it was not short of a big stomp by CLG whatsoever. There was times where TSM was running them. For example, they were chasing off TSM out into TSM's jungle, and when they finally got into a corridor, like you were saying, that Twitch lined them all up and got a triple kill, cleaning up 4 for 0 in a team fight just by cutting them over to a corridor so he can spray and pray, not spray and pay. Spray and pray and unload on just everyone. Like the front line was taking damage, the back line was taking damage. I mean, TSM was taking damage from Twitch. I mean, everyone was taking a little damage. So,
you have your Lee Sin kick into Lucian combo. Was that in that game, or was that a different game?
Yeah, that was a crazy though. Like nearing the kind of end of the game, there was a crazy fight that went down, and it looked like it was in TSM's favor. But TSM kind of got a little greedy, and the Lee Sin kicked in on, I think it was Wild Turtle, and managed to get a sweet kick back right into Lucian, and that's when Lucian or Double Lift got that kill, chased on and killed Leona, and that's when he said free SM, because that's where the free kill came from. So that was a really, really good game. High action game, lots of Baron dancing, lots of team fights, really back and forth. But I'll have to give that to Double Lift. Double Lift played really well, and also Lee Sin actually played really well. He set up lots and lots of kills and set up lots of good team fights.
And then you have here also Bjergsen and his spears coming back against Curse as the only other highlight here. And I didn't see this game, so can you elaborate on this Bjergsen spear?
So TSM was playing against Curse, and at first Curse was actually winning the game. They were a little bit ahead in kills, a little bit ahead in gold. They were pushing in bottom turret, and I'm just thinking, oh man, TSM's gonna lose this, and they're gonna lose that tie game against Cloud9, and now TSM's not gonna come first. But then as they're pushing in, Bjergsen throws a spear that weaves through everyone and just manages to get the kill. And because that happened, Dyrus sees this, and Dyrus is on Shyvana, ult straight into the fight. No regrets, not even thinking about it. Straight into the 4v4 at this point, or no, 4v3. And they end up cleaning up four kills, I think, just from Bjergsen spears. He kept landing more spears and getting more kills. And I think in the end, Bjergsen got 3 kills out of that. Dyrus got 1 kill. They got a dragon. They swung the gold into their favor. They swung the team fights in their favor.
Into their flavor.
Into their flavor.
Was that a very vanilla team fight?
It was actually more of a chocolate. Thank you. Anyways, they ended up, after those couple kills, straight up, pushing down mid, getting some inhibs, gaining that lead, and not letting Curse get an inch after. So, just goes to show that Bjergsen really can just play every champ, I swear. We haven't seen any... I don't think we saw any other Nidalee play by him.
Was that his first Nidalee pick of the LCS, or has he been on Nidalee before?
Might be. I think he might have played once other, but can't remember. But to me, it was the first game, and he played it superb. He didn't really apply too much pressure in the mid game, but once it really counted, he was hitting spears left and right.
Speaking of Nidalee picks, Coast actually had Nidalee banned out against them twice this week.
I didn't really watch a lot of last week's. Were they playing Nidalee and playing well with it?
I think Coast runs Nidalee quite often because they like that poke that it brings, but I'm not really sure all the what is the right word, thought behind it, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I don't follow Coast too well. It was against XDG, so XDG saw something in Coast Nidalee, and same thing with CLG. So
I know,
or not CLG, it was EG.
Yeah. Well, I know that Dignitas Crumbs was stating that he hates. It's not Dignitas a bandit, but it's just kind of a general consensus. He hates Nidalee. He said, ever since I started this game, I have hated Nidalee, and I've always wanted to ban him out. So that's just kind of a funny.
I feel him. I've hated Nidalee for a long time.
Can't play her. Don't want to play against her.
I can play her in the caster form. I can't do the cat form.
I can do both, but not very well. Like my cat form is equally as good as my caster form, which is both not very good.
I can only do scumbag support in Nidalee, or I can just throw spears to the bushes, and that's my extent of Nidalee play. I've tried her mid maybe once and just did not go well.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Oh, you there?
So sorry about my mic there.
Oh, just muted yourself?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
All right.
Anyways,
Personal MVP of the week. Who are you giving your personal MVP
I'm gonna give it to
to?
Nien. He played 2 Trundle games, played really, really well, had some really awesome turret dives where he would be in the team fight, tanking turrets, getting good kills, although there was one point where he would go in and not finish kills by accident. But still, I'm going to give it to Nien. He played really well. Usually he's not one to really dominate lane, but he did win lane pretty hard this week. So
I guess I'm going to keep my MVP in the family and go with Double Lift because, hey, free SM and Lucian mechanics.
oh yeah, Lucian is always fun to watch. Lucian's becoming pretty much the most popular AD carry right now, I think.
Quite a strong lane bully with the Sivir nerfs.
Yeah, for sure. And oh man, what is up with my mic? Anyways, put him with a any kind of strong laning partner, Morgana, Thresh, or Leona, and he's gonna hit hard. He's gonna zone hard. So he's really strong.
Let's see what this week's Lucians are run with. Let's see. First Lucian was picked by EG, and they ran him with a Thresh support. And then the second game, it was a Lucian by CLG, which is the one we were just talking about, with another Thresh support. Oh wait, is that the same game? Oh wait, no, those are 2 different games.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
Let's see. The Coast vs XDG game had no Lucian. Actually, that was the Twitch versus Varus game. Curse C9 had a Lucian Morgana pick by C9. CLG XGG, I don't want an ad. Go away. I don't need to see a PlayStation sponsor. All right. Well, I guess we're not going to see all the picks there. What I did want to do is talk about our All-Star picks because the voting is up, and I want to do a live vote between me and Julian here on the stream. So I'm already logged into LCS's All-Star pick. So if Julian, if you want to go ahead and do that.
All right. So you can start talking about this while I.
Well, it seems player voting goes from March 30th to April 12th. So you have about 2 weeks here to pick your LCS NA people of note. I think you can do the EU one as well. You can actually switch and do a YOLO EU vote if we wanted to. Let's see, there's a challenge format reveal on April 13th, challenge format number 2 reveal on April 20th, challenge format 3 reveal. I'm not really sure what these challenge formats are, but they go from all through April and the first week of May. So you can vote for up to 3 LCS players every day until the polls close. The top 2 players from each region will participate in the All-Star Challenge, a series of special competitions. First place teams from each region will not be eligible for the All-Star Challenge. Spread those votes around. Interesting.
So you can vote for 3 guys a day.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't make our full team prediction then. I say we do 80 carry support mid today, and we also say what our top laner and jungle be.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. Are you logged into the site yet, Julian, or are you still working on it?
I am, actually. I am. So
Cool.
I'm ready to...
So you're over on
to vote.
vote.na, lolesports.com. So what do we want to do first? Support, AD carry, or mid?
We're going to do mid, and obviously Bjergsen right there. There he is.
All right, let me see. Yeah, Bjergsen, I remember seeing something earlier today where Bjergsen was really surprised that he was the top pick for mid lane. So since I have multiple votes, maybe I will go in a different direction, even though I talked about mid lane before. Let's see, not ManCloud. I can still vote for Scarra, so I'm going to do Scarra.
Huh. Scarra's rank 11. It'd be so funny if Scarra got to rank 1. That would be something that the internet would do.
Oh, yeah, just because he's not in the LC or retired, so nope, too bad, Scarra, you're playing now.
Who's the number 1 jungler? Because
Let's
it's not Meteos. He's rank 3.
Meteos is no. I think that it's going by the rank of the player in general.
Oh, rank of player in general. Wow, TSM really rank 1, rank 5, rank 4, rank 6, rank 9. They've really got the
Meteos on Cloud 9 is the highest one at 3.
Yeah, well, TSM just has like a very on average has the lowest, definitely the lowest rank right now, in a good way.
Or highest rank? Well, I guess lowest rank in terms of like who's going to get picked. Mm-hmm. All right, so those are our mid lanes. So what about support?
Okay, X Special's a good, really, really, really good support. Consistent. He's also played on a lot of a lot of like international events, and he's been playing for a really long time. He also played with Double Lift and played exceptionally well. I want to give it to him. I'm just gonna look through here real quick if you want to talk about yours.
I want to go with Elimination just because look at that picture with him and his beard.
He's got a nice beard going on. I've noticed that a lot of the LCS players are starting to grow their beards, and aside from Cutie Pie, Voyboy, and
Well, because they're all getting you past being 18 years old.
Hey, don't make fun of 18-year-olds. I'm in the prime of my life, man.
Well, Zuna has some stubble going on. They got Elimination with the beard.
I know Dyrus can grow I think he can grow a beard.
Yeah, Dyrus has a little bit of chin beard going on.
Voyboy has always been able to grow a beard since he was like 17.
Odd One has a little bit of a mustache.
Yeah, a little bit. Crumbs is coming up right now. Who else can grow?
Cutie Pie has like a goatee going on.
It's pretty big. It's good. It's good chin beard. I know that Aframu actually has a little bit of a goatee going on as well. But I'm gonna give it X Special. Your
support pick?
Yeah, my support pick.
So all that's left is 80 carry. Wild Turtle's at number 4. Cutie Pie's at 10. I kind of want to give it to Cutie Pie. But I already voted for another Dignitas player. Double Lift is at rank 2.
Yeah, Double Lift is at rank 2. I want to give it to Double Lift, but at the same time, I mean, he has been proving himself that he is a force to be reckoned with.
Was he in All-Stars last year? I think he was.
He was. Double Lift and X Special. It was Double Lift, X Special, Dyrus, Scarra.
Because Scarra's a fan favorite and Dyrus is a fan favorite.
Yeah, he definitely.
Oh,
I don't remember. Oh, it was Saint Vicious was Jungle. And I couldn't tell you who. No, I did. No, I listed everyone. It was X Special, Double Lift, Dyrus, Scarra, and Saint Vicious.
Alright, well, I gotta pick my 80 carry here. Yellow Pete's 29. Oh, poor Enox, he's 36. Let's see, not with Fusion. Sneaky's 18. Sounds like I'm hitting on Sneaky. I'm just gonna go with Cutie Pie. He's at 10, so I got Dignitas, Cutie Pie, Elimination as my 3 votes for today.
I'm going to go with Double Lift. Double Lift. I think I would have, asked me 2 weeks ago who I would have voted for, and it wouldn't have been Double Lift. It would have been Cutie Pie or Wild Turtle. But seeing his recent performance and whatnot, and just, free SM, that was funny, I'm going to give it to Double Lift. So I'm going to cast my vote. Boom.
NALCS leaderboard. Out of the top 5, 3 of them are from TSM.
Wow.
Bjergsen, Double Lift, Meteos, Wild Turtle, Dyrus are our top 5.
So the top 5, wow.
Look at the EU.
Top 6, 4 of them. Oh no, 4 of them. Of the top 6, 4 of them are.
The EU top 10 is like all Fnatic and Gambit.
Yeah.
Reckles and Diamond Prox are top 2, and then Froggen, Xpeke, and Darien. So yeah, the top 5, I'm not surprised on EU side.
No, not at all. These are all like champions you hear about, or not champions. These are all players you hear about.
I almost expected Xpeke to be first on the EU side.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Reckless is really, really good.
Diamond Prox I'm not surprised about just because he's Diamond Prox and does whatever he wants and still wins.
Yeah, and Darien, Alex X Edwards and Soaz, all of those 2 teams, Gambit, and I'm not surprised that they're just up in the top 10 kind of.
The lowest person on Gambit is Genja at 16.
The lowest person on Fnatic is Cyanide at 11. So.
Oh yeah, so I guess Fnatic has the upper hand on Gambit there.
For sure.
Wow, look at the votes for Bjergsen. He's 20,000 ahead of Double Lift.
Jeez Louise. Bjergsen, you're a god right now. All right, well, I say we save that for next week and we do more live votes, and if it changes, we change. That's what I think.
I agree. Well, let's move on to our next segment, which is Our Games. Let me see if this works this week. You are about to start playback. Do you want to hear the song previously? No, I don't. What? Play song.
City. Population, you. Up top.
All right. Jillian. This part of the program brought to you by...
Oh, this is me.
Yes, it is you.
This segment is brought to you by the Wong Answer. Divided into two teams, Jeremy Wong hosts a group of guests into a series of introspective and thought-provoking scenarios. Here, guests debate the most bizarre ethical, political, or personal interest questions a human mind can possibly imagine. Episodes released weekly on the newappnetwork.com.
I'm going to play it one more time just because the volume was really low on it.
Beat down city. Population, you. Up top.
There you go. So, we haven't played a whole lot of games this week just because I'm kind of in the middle of a League of Legends detox because I was playing it so consistently for so long that I kind of just need a break to just kind of collect myself. So I've been playing other games. I've played a couple games of League, so we can talk about on the show. You and I did a duo queue ranked, which wasn't too bad aside from our team infighting constantly.
Yeah, none of my ranked games have been bad. I've lost a few, but they've not been like bad losses due to trolls and stuff. It was just more like...
It's getting late in the season, so the trolls are starting to filter out into where they should be. But it's still kind of bad because people that are, playing like over spring break and that kind of stuff. So you still have this variation between people, and we're in gold, so it's kind of like almost the middle ground now. Like, I feel like silver used to be the middle ground. And just this new ranking system's kind of throwing it all for a loop still.
Yeah. I didn't have bad games. I had a good Nasus game. We just didn't have enough damage. I don't know. Besides that, I didn't really play too many games. I played maybe 5 or 6 games in the last week, and they've been really back and forth. I think I've won 3, lost 3, so.
And then you and I tried out the team builder.
Yeah. I mean, I have quite a bit to say about team builder. It's an interesting concept. I'll give it that.
On paper, it seems that it would work out really well, but there's a lot of kinks left in the team builder that they really got to iron out there.
Yeah, and plus, it's a new system on top of all the old systems. On top of the old systems that no one really wants to take the time to spend and learn this new system when they've gotten accustomed to this old system that, really they don't have a problem with. I mean, I don't have a problem with the whole calling system anymore because I've gotten to the point where I can just play anything. So I don't, often if I don't get what I want, I'm not really complaining because I find the fun in everything. And I think a lot of people kind of find that too, that they don't have to play the mid. They don't have to.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of the things too about the team builder is that it adds a 4th option for Summoner's Rift. So you already have blind pick, you have draft pick, you have draft ranked. So that's already 3 divisions of Summoner's Rift that you're dividing the player base into. So now you're adding just one more Summoner's Rift map that people are like, okay, well, what kind of version of Summoner's Rift do I have to play? So with the example of Dominion, there's only one kind of Dominion. Actually, there's 2. I take that back. There is the draft Dominion and the blind pick Dominion. So there's only 2 divisions of Dominion that are going to divide that player base. Most of the people play blind pick Dominion because draft Dominion takes forever. Whereas with Summoner's Rift, you probably have the biggest amount of people playing blind, and the next amount of people playing ranked, and then the next amount of people playing draft. So now you're just adding this other new system that people are probably going to try for the first week and then throw away because they're so used to the old system and they're playing the same thing without the hassle.
Yeah, for sure. It seems just a little ridiculous to add this system after all we've already, learned so much. It's just adding so much redundancy, honestly.
Because if I want to play a champion, I can just go into blind pick and auto lock it. I mean, sure, that's being the douche way of doing it, but I can still go in and do that and okay, well, I'm playing Leona regardless of what you say.
Yeah, it's not like I'm not gonna sit there. I mean, what we team built. I was gonna play mid, you were gonna play jungle, and we just didn't find people for maybe 6 to 7 minutes. We decided, okay, maybe we'll just solo it. I soloed mid. I didn't find a game for 3 minutes, so decided, okay, maybe we'll take the least wanted role, which we figured was 80 carry jungle, and that still took 5 minutes to create.
Well, I tried it in solo jungle, and it was just Q pop after Q pop because no one wants to play jungle. So eventually, you and I just did 80 carry in support, and it was just boom, boom, boom. All the roles came in.
But even then, we had to wait a while because we had to wait for a jungler or something to join.
I feel like everyone is queued up for mid.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
Every game I joined as a jungler, the mid was already there.
Mid and top, those 2 are the.
Which I'm not surprised because those are the 2 most popular roles.
Yeah, I'm not surprised either, but that's why I also think that this. I think that this new system is a little bit flawed because of how it's structured. How I mean, it's not like with WoW where there's an incentive with the being a healer because they give extra things. They don't give you extra anything for wanting to play AD carry support. The only thing extra they give you is you can get in a little faster, but it doesn't mean you want to play that role.
I could just do blind pick and get in 30 seconds.
Instantly, instead of having to wait 10 minutes to play mid. I could, try and... I mean, honestly, realistically, you can get into a blind pick, get to your role, pick mid, someone auto-locks, you leave the game, wait the 5-minute penalty, and then play again and get mid, and that would still be faster than trying to queue up mid and wait 10 minutes anyways to get into one game which you potentially could get booted out of because they didn't like your mid pick.
Exactly, and the fact that you can just boot people out of there, too. It's like,
Yeah.
this person wants to do mid Soraka. No, I don't want that on my team.
Yeah, I mean, I was sitting there and I saw Fiora jungle and you're like, let him in. And I'm like, nah, I'll just kick him. And that was just for fun. Now imagine if I was actually looking for a specific jungle, I could just keep kicking and kicking until I find the right jungle I want. And by the time I keep kicking, maybe other people get, pissed off, so they leave too.
So you just have this ongoing, I don't know, just keep... Man, why am I blanking on words tonight? You keep on having people dropping out of these games because they're not what you want, or you can kick because they're not what you want. So it's this continuous cycle of just people not getting in and playing the role they want, even though they've queued up for the role they want.
Yeah, I mean, it's... and the fact of the matter is, we got into the game, we were playing Leona Lucian, and bot lane, again, was Leona Lucian.
Yeah, what are the chances of it being the exact same? And the thing, too, is that with the team builder, it's blind pick. So I could just play blind pick and do the same thing. Because it's not like draft where there's no champion duplications. It's just, everyone's just playing what they want again.
Yeah, for sure. And there's no way to counter pick. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess there's no way to counter pick if you're just doing the normal draft pick. But
you can counter pick and draft pick because it's the same thing as ranked.
Sorry, if blind pick, if you go into blind pick, there's no real counter. You can't counter pick, but if you go into draft pick, which is already a better variation, if you don't want to really troll so much and you feel like you can play anything, then you can also have specific team comps built there. You can communicate like that. With this team builder, there's no communication. It's just, I'm playing this champ. This is what happened. It's essentially having an auto locker that you can boot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to say they were working on booting auto lockers or some form of that in blind pick. But they may just work that into the team builder, or maybe eventually replace blind pick with the team builder if they can get all these kinks worked out.
I wouldn't like that though, because then there would be no sense of team before you started the game. I mean, sometimes you get into a champion select and there is a sense of team. There's a sense of, hey, trade with me here, trade with me there. I'll grab this so that we have synergy here. I'm playing Yasuo, grab me knockups. So just stuff like that. With this team builder, it's, hey, this guy's playing AoE. We're all going to play AoE because that's just the easiest way to win is play AoE.
But you can do that with team builder. You can be like, I'm going to play Yasuo mid. I'm going to look for like a Wukong jungle coming through. I mean, sure, it might take you a while, but you can also like knock it down to like, I want a fighter jungle, so you can have that chance of a Wukong coming up. I
guess that's true, but it creates this whole thing. Are you willing to wait that long to create teams?
Yeah, you don't have the discussion with another player. You just have like, this is what they want to play.
Yeah, the game is already, how long do they games can go from anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour. Now, averaging probably 35 minutes, 30 minutes in solo queue, right? That's the average, I'd give it. So are you really waiting till, I mean, how long do we, champ select can go up to 7 minutes, right? Something like
yeah, more or less. Probably about 5 minutes for champ select.
I don't like waiting the full time for champ select if it doesn't need to. Am I really willing to wait 10 minutes, 15 minutes to get a full team of exactly what I want just so I can play a 30-minute game? I'd rather take, the not optimal jungler, but still a decent jungler, and cut my champ select down by 10 minutes just so, I can get into the game.
I agree. Well, I think that's... Do you have anything else to say about the team builder?
No, I was excited at one point, but now when the more I play, the more I enjoy the game and the more I learn about the game, I realize that the team builder, I just don't think it's going to be a viable option if we add it this late into. Maybe if it was the original one of the original designs, that would have worked, but it's just too late now. And that's kind of my final thought.
Yeah, I think it's a great a great system for someone new coming into the game because they can get into a game and keep playing like as Nocturne because they just picked up Nocturne as their first champion. That's what they want to do. They want to keep playing Nocturne, and this is a perfect venue for that. But for someone who's already so acclimated to the game and has played thousands of games, it's just not this optimal system that you want it to be.
No, not at all. And I mean, I'm not hating on Riot. I think they are catering to the desires of many of the players, which I think is awesome. That they've taken these people's cries into consideration, but I just don't think it's a realistic option right now. But who's? I mean, I'm just a player, so I have no actual say in what happens. For all I know, this could blow up and become the new way to doing it, and that's just how it is.
Mm-hmm. Well, with that, let us move on to our random game info.
Better nerf Aurelia!
And with that, the first biggest thing I saw was that there was an SKT Z skin teased. And this came out just today. I saw it on Rain of Gaming. And they kind of led up to this reveal with this little montage of stuff going on in Worlds. So they just showed all the SKT team just kicking ass in their games. At the end of it, they just kind of show this Zed that kind of has like a Samus Aran helmet, just like the unseen blade is the deadliest, and then like fades to black.
Oh man, I feel like it's gonna be a sweet skin. I've been calling for a Zed skin for a while now. I said, yeah, Zed needs a new skin.
Well, he's needed one for a long time since he's been out for over a year, and you haven't seen a Zed skin with his popularity.
Especially since he's only got one skin, and it's not a bad skin, but it's not.
Yeah, Shockblade's just kind of this recolored Zed that has some electrical effects.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's cool, but it really doesn't add too much. So that'll be cool to see.
I assume they're going to make an SKT skin for that entire winning composition. Well, actually, no, because Gragas was the winning composition in there for their mid laner.
Yeah. I don't know what they're going to do.
Because I know it was
I think they might do favorite champions. And
that might be a better way to go about it, especially since they already teased this Zed skin. Let's see. SKT, Victory, V-I-C-T-O-R-Y, not Victy. Victory Comp. SKT Victory Comp. Let's see. Special skins for SKT1's Worlds. What was their word composition? Because I know it was Gragas, Corki, Jarvan, Zyra. Gragas, Corki, Jarvan, Zyra. Who was their top lane? Jax. That's what is it. So yeah, this isn't any of the champion. Well, this isn't a champion that was played by SKT in that winning game. So if it's just going by favorite champions, we may see a completely different skin theme here than we did see for the Taipei Assassin skins.
Yeah, maybe. That'll be cool.
Or maybe they'll just, if they go for favorite champions, that'll be really cool. I mean, the teaser for the Zed one looks pretty neat. Kind of looks like it's going to be like a robotic-y assassin.
I've always loved the robotic-y kind of skins they make, like all the battle cast, the full medals, and all those. I think they've always looked really good.
Just means he's going to have a really modulated voice.
Yeah.
And his voice is already pretty echoey.
Nah, it's going to be sweet.
Or it'll be on like an intercom. The unseen blade is the deadliest. Kind of like the Teemo.
Yeah. No. Well, I mean, yeah. Speaking of skins, PAX goers, they're not getting skins this year. Well, maybe, I mean, it hasn't been totally released, but they are getting summoner icons instead of a skin. So it kind of leads me to saying, why is there no arcade skin or a PAX skin or anything? Are they getting lazy? They don't want to design a whole skin, or they just think that people will like summoner icons better, or what?
I know Riot has stated that it's a lot easier for them to make an icon than it is to make a skin.
Oh,
and they can give the icon out a hell of a lot easier than a skin as well.
For sure. It's just kind of, I don't want to say they're lazy because Riot does so much. And, but I feel like if you're going to PAX, you kind of expect a skin at this point.
Because they've always had a PAX skin. They had PAX Twisted Fate, they had PAX Sivir, and
PAX
then
Jax.
Oh yeah, PAX Jax, Arcade Sona, and Arcade Hecarim were made for PAX. So I almost expected them to continue on with this arcade theme because it seems to work pretty well for them. But as of now, we haven't seen a skin for PAX.
Yeah,
only the icon, which was just released today, I think.
I find that interesting that they won't even kind of create a really quick PAX skin. I mean, something, a recolor that says PAX somewhere or something like that.
Well, they're kind of past that, where they're just going to do a recolor. I mean, the Twisted Fate and the Jax skins were recolors. The Sivir was the first one, I think, with a newer model. Oh,
Yeah.
this just in. For Earth Day, they are doing a icon, login music, and skin sales. They are having the Earth Fizz and the Earth Rider Corky and then a Shaco skin. I don't know why.
Shaco's a clown.
I guess April 1st to clown around. So that's just the top of Radio Gaming right now. That was released 24 minutes ago. Earth Day login screen music. Let's see what this is. Skip ahead.
So intense.
Alright, I don't know why. Maybe they'll do an Earth skin or something. I don't know.
That's intense. Well, I've got some RP saved up. I really doubt if it's just the Earth skins on sale, I probably won't buy any of the skins. So
I already have
yeah.
the Fizz one, and you have the Corky one. Or do you?
No, I have the Fizz one.
Do you run Red Baron Corky, or do you run the Earth Rider?
I run. I run 2 Corky skins now. I bought one when it was on sale.
Did you get the Ice Toboggan?
No, I didn't get Toboggan. I don't really like Toboggan. I have the Chinese one.
Oh, all right. Yeah, that one's cool.
Yeah, it was on sale, and I thought the stuff was really cool for it. The animations. I also have Hot Rod.
I don't like Hot
Rod.
Rod.
And Dragon Wind. I think Hot Rod's pretty cool.
If I got a Corky skin, I'd go Earth Rider all the way.
I like Earth Rider, but I think I like Dragon Wind Corky better.
I mean,
So
when
I'm
he
glad I
crits,
have
he
it.
throws a spatula.
It's true. It is pretty freaking funny. It's a funny skin, and the auto attack's actually really nice on it. The animation. Anyways, any of the Gatling gun animations or like the Twitch, Mafia Twitch, makes the auto attack really nice.
Same with Jinx. Jinx's is pretty nice.
Jinx auto attack is just always good.
Smoothest
But,
auto
yeah.
attack in the game, I think, is Zyra.
I think the smoothest auto attack for me is Varus.
Varus is up there, for sure.
Varus has a really smooth auto attack.
Speaking of
Couple-
champions, Reina Gang released a Challenger Weekend infograph of all the champions that were played in Challenger Series. And I have 2,514, or is this just Challenger games? I guess it's Challenger games. I have 2,514 games played. I think every champion was played with the exception of Galio.
Forever Alone.
Yeah, the Forever Alone Galio down there. The top
should
5.
make-
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
They should just make a skin called Forever Alone Galio, and it's just a skin where Galio dresses up as a Mumu.
Dresses up like Eeyore. Oh, well. No one wants to
anyway,
pick
so-
me.
Go on.
The top 5 picked and banned champions in Challenger. Kha'Zix at 95.2% pick or ban. Lee Sin at 83.5. Lulu 79.2. LeBlanc at 71.2. And Pantheon at 69.1. And I can't really say I'm surprised with this.
Not surprised at all. All those bans are almost bans that besides the Lee, I don't ban out the Lee very often just because you don't see him as often in the lower elo. That's a very high elo. I mean, it's in every elo pick, but you'll see a lot of really good Lees that will give a lot to the team where you won't see as many in low elo.
When you and I were climbing to Platinum, I remember getting into Gold 1 and seeing just Lee Sin every game.
Oh, really?
Like, he was always there, and they would always try to make, like, the really flashy plays, like all the ward jumps and all the kicks, and trying really hard to do everything they could to be LCS material.
Huh. That's kind of interesting. All I know is those the Ka, Lulu, LB, and Panth. Those are all bans that I would ban too. So, I ban Ka very often and Panth very often. Lulu not as often, but every once in a while I'll ban LB if I remember.
Yeah, the Lulu mid's a very LCS influence pick.
For sure, but it works really well, especially for people who know how to play with it and with it and as it as well.
Yeah, and very meta-centric picks and bans there.
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow is Earth Day, which is April 1st. We already kind of discussed this with the Reign of Gaming news there.
Yeah.
I had in the notes, what do you think Riot has in store for this year? And obviously, they have a summoner icon and some new music for us.
I just wish they did another funny video like the Lee Sin one, where it was like Lee Sin, you have to play blind, and you can win the game instantly because you're Lee Sin.
Oh, I don't remember that. I
it's funny,
remember
like-
playing him like blind, and like the screen was all blurry.
Wait, you could actually... There was a video that they released.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about is the video.
Yeah, it was really blurry, but it also said that you could instantly kick to the Nexus and win.
Oh, I don't remember that.
It was pretty funny.
Huh.
And it was just like, because I'm Lee Sin, and like all you build is Warmogs and Trinity Forces.
Well, in previous years, Riot had released. Let's see, what did they do last year? They had that Cho'Gath Eat World game.
That was a funny game. That was a fun game. It was like they played a lot of it, the Monster game on GameCube. Monster Mash? No, not Monster Mash. Something along those lines. It was a similar game to that, and I've always it was fun. I played a decent amount of it.
I actually never played it last year. We
was
talked about it
fun.
on my old League radio show, but I don't think I actually played the game. I remember seeing it, and my co-host had played it.
It was funny. I thought it was a very cheeky little fun way to celebrate the April Fools in a non-league not really a League of Legends in-game fashion, but a outside Riot League of Legends way. So.
And then before that, they released the Earthrider Fizz skin, which I think a lot of people who play Fizz own as it's one of his better skins, especially since they have Earth come out of the water for his ultimate. Yeah. Was Warwick the year before that? The Earthrider, the Warwick Earth skin where they gave it to everyone for like 5 RP or something.
Yeah. And then eventually it disappeared, and then people demanded it, and it came back, and now you can just buy it.
And then we already talked about the Lee Sin playing him actually blind. Was that their first year? I don't know, since I started playing 2 years into League being around.
That was the first year, I think.
Because Lee Sin's a pretty old champion.
Yeah, Lee Sin came out in, it was either very early season 2 or late season 1. I remember I bought him at the same time I bought Wukong. Because I had RP
I didn't realize Wukong was that old either.
Yeah, well, no, I just bought Lee Sin late.
Oh, alright.
But I just remember buying Lee Sin with IP, buying Wukong with RP.
And with that, it is time to move on to Summoner Tips.
Here's a tip, and a spear behind it.
So we kind of have 2 small tips. I can give mine real quick, and Brian, you want to give yours after?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead.
So this is just kind of something I did recently, a couple days ago, is I've written down a chart of champions that I am willing to play in each role. So I have like little thing, like an Excel. It says willing to play.
Sheet.
Yeah, a sheet. It says willing to play, wanting to play, and can play at a good level, and that's for top, except for jungle because I just don't play jungle. Top, mid, support, AD carry. Willing to play is I'll play this for the team comp. It might not be my best pick, but I can still probably pull it off. Wanting to play something that I've recently saw in the LCS, or I think might be a good idea, or just a champion that I haven't practiced enough, so I probably should practice some more. And then characters that are just my go-to. Doesn't look like the team needs anything, and I'm forced into another this role. These are my champions, because you often find yourself you especially if you've been playing this game for 3 years or 4 years like myself, you don't realize how many champions you've actually learnt to a very high level, or the level you're at. You'll just forget. But if you have these written down, you write them down when you realize that you're still competent at this level with this champion, you can always refer back to the sheet and make sure that there could have been a better pick and you just didn't realize it because you just forgot you could play Riven, or you forgot that Wukong is I could still play him top. I was a good Wukong top kind of thing.
Yeah, because it gets overwhelming with having so many champions that you kind of forget like what you want to play. I know this happened to me.
Especially since the game is 4 years old. I mean, I've been playing the game for 4 years, and I'll forget I used to play Riven all the time, and I was a decent Riven. I mean, granted, now I don't think I'll be able to play Riven because it was so long ago. I was like just bad at the game then. But for example, Garen, I have him written down. I realize now I could actually play a decent Garen, and I just forgot.
For my tip, I'm not really sure as to like the validity of this, and I saw it on Reddit on kind of like what are your life hack kind of. It was an AMA or something. Oh, it wasn't an AMA. It was a Ask Reddit. So yeah, it was like kind of life hacks, like what can you do to improve yourself. And I kind of saw this on there, and it made mention to professional gaming, and it said that a lot of professional gamers drink an extra amount of water before they go into games, so they have a slight need to urinate. And in doing so, it makes them make more rational decisions. And it kind of sounds valid, and I'm not really sure how much of this like psychologically is true. but just from a quick glance, it seems to make sense. I don't really want to try this because I don't really want to sit through a game having to pee. But most of the time, if I need to take a piss during a game, I'm just kind of like, okay, want it to end, need it to end, gotta go to the bathroom.
That's kind of funny, actually. Now, drink water or juice, not alcohol. That's a bad way to win games.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. There was one night where I had a couple beers and all my ranked games went really well because I didn't have like the adrenaline stupids because my brain was inhibiting that from like, when you get like really stressed out and your heart's pounding because of a play and you're like not moving your hands as well as you should be.
Yeah, I totally understand.
Like that wasn't happening to me because I had like 2 or 3 beers and it was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna have fun.
Can't say I understand. I'm 18, can't drink. Mm-mm.
Hey, you got a year.
All right. Yeah. Those are kind of our 2 tips. I thought they're both pretty funny. Good stuff.
Oh, and by the way, that was sponsored by the Good Fight Gamercast. That is a gaming podcast also on New Amp Network by my good buddy Connor. They tackle the tough issues in gaming and discuss new and upcoming titles, flaws in games, glorifying successes, shedding light on overlooked titles, and a lot more. The Good Fight broadcasts every other week on New Amp, and you can check them out on Facebook.com/GoodFightGamercast and Twitter at GoodFightGcast. We usually end out the show here with contests and mailbag. We have neither of which this week. If you want to send anything in, have your questions read, have your comments read on the show, feel free to do so by sending your questions to bestpodcastna@gmail.com, or you could send us a tweet at bestpodcastna. And I think that just about wraps up for everything we have for Best Podcast NA this week. You can check out our weekly episodes at newampnetwork.com and make sure to subscribe on iTunes and Stitcher. Let's see. If you follow New Amp Network, you can keep a lookout for contests and other giveaways. I'm trying to set one up with Connor of the Good Fight for some Steam games. I know we talked about this last week. And it's still a work in progress. People live kind of far away. It's hard to get a good conversation with some other co-hosts sometimes. This has been a production of the New Amp Podcasting Network. For more audio enjoyment, check out our website at newampnetwork.com, and you can like and follow us on social media at New Amp Network on Twitter and on Facebook at facebook.com/newampnetwork. You can follow me on Twitter at Cheddar Wales and Julian at Jokusis. As always, guys, thanks for listening, and this is Best Podcast NA.